Good evening. It is Sunday, October 13th, 2013. This is your Island Blader speaking. Here's what's happening. If I were a Jet optimist, I would call this a trap game. But if I'm a Jets pessimist, I'd be like, I sensed it coming. The Jets stunk today against a winless Pittsburgh Steeler team, who had stunk, who had issues on the field and off the field. But, it obvious that a bye week, which is, what the Steelers were coming off of, proved big time because, the Steelers came in and they outplayed the Jets, beating the Jets 19-6 today. You can make the excuse to the fact that the Steelers had 2 weeks to prepare for the Jets and the Jets had a short week. Okay. You can make excuse to the fact that while the run defense did its job again today against an offense that can't seem to run the ball, the secondary stunk today. I mean, top to bottom, they all stunk today. And it doesn't help when our number one cornerback, Antonio Cromartie, he's the only reliable one we have in the secondary, gets burned for the only touchdown scored in this football game. Because it's not like, either team had anything to write home about. Okay? The Steelers were not that good. The Jets just stunk today. And, you could point the fact, the quarterback stunk today, but the offensive play calling was really beyond hideous. And, Morningweg, what was he going away from? Was he that scared or intimidated by a Dick LeBeau defense that he kept doing checkdowns, screen passes, running the ball more? Geno, anytime he took a shot downfield, twice he was intercepted, when it's like the Jets were knocking on the door. Twice he was intercepted. The Steelers, who, by the way, hadn't had a single turnover all year. Well, we knew that streak was coming to an end today. Steelers haven't led all year, especially by no, that was coming, and it happened, 9-6 at halftime. Anytime a glimmer of hope was there, it just went away. And now I know we all were hoorah, going crazy after the great comeback win and the final drive against the Falcons. Well, the Steelers defense, like I said, I walked into this game, there was no write-off. Okay, I said the Steelers, for a team coming in at 0-4, all right? I don't care about bye weeks or anything else. I said the Steelers, they're an 0-4 team. They're a decent 0-4 team. And, the Jets had a good start on them. But if you think about this game, the Jets left at least 12 points on the field today. You could give a maximum of 20, but I'll be merciful and give a minimum of 12. And only because, number one, they missed a safety. Roethlisberger was pinned back in his own end zone. Wilkerson had his hands around him. Roethlisberger escaped and ended up throwing the ball away. Goodbye, 2 points. The Jets on their first possession, knocking on the door, they're on the 2-yard line. They have a 4th and 1, and they clearly were not ready to run a play. So they ended up taking a delay of game penalty, kicking a field goal. So that's another 4 points, assumingly they'd score the touchdown. And that old and slow Steeler defense, right? There was also, again, the Jets threatening in the, the third quarter they threatened, and I don't know what in the world Eugene Cyril Smith was thinking, but, he overthrows, who is it, Conrad Royland, and throws it into triple coverage, overthrowing Roland, and Ryan Clark's right there at the 1-yard line for an easy interception and getting it out of trouble. So, stalled that. And let's see, there was also, and late in the game, the Jets are down 19-6, moving the ball. Every play is at least 10 yards, first down, so on and so forth. Until, again, where in the world was Eugene Cyril Smith throwing the football? He gets intercepted. Lawrence Timmons right there, stand there. It's like, yeah, okay, hi. And of course, the big play of the day was Antonio Cromartie getting burned by Emmanuel Sanders over like I said, the Steelers, they don't have big receivers. Okay, they got one receiving tight end in Heath Miller, and then they have Antonio Brown, and they have Emmanuel Sanders. Emmanuel Sanders cut in on the inside, toasted Cromartie. Gone. Now, I know Cromartie had a knee injury, has a hyperextended knee, which he, non-contact, ended up getting the other day. His knee was clearly not right. and you know, he made one defensive stop there. I don't I believe it was 3-3, maybe it was 6-3 Steelers by that point, where it looked like Antonio Brown caught a ball right in the end zone. Cromartie turned out and knocked it away. That was a close one. Okay, but I mean, all else. I mean, the other thing the Jets used to be good at and can't do anymore is the defense getting off the field on third down. I don't know how many times I saw Ben Roethlisberger convert on third downs. I mean, and it was a big play too. There was one drive there where the Steelers had a 2nd and 19. 2 plays later, boom, they got a first down. How many times? Okay. This was a winnable game for the Jets. And, for them to come out like that and look that crappy. I mean, 0-4 Steelers, who I heard the other day had a whole bunch of issues. Their offensive coordinator, Todd Haley, former Chiefs coach, he's a train wreck, and him and Roethlisberger apparently weren't, gelling, etc. and etc. Well, they sure got their act together. You never know. Now, I'm not trying to panic. I mean, the Jets have not had a winning streak since December of last year. They've won every other game. Every loss, every win, you say, oh, they should have lost to Tampa. They should have beaten New England, blah, blah, blah. Every which way possible. But, of course, we pull up all the excuses. And, it was a mistake-filled game today. The offensive play calling by Morningweg was atrocious. The quarterback stunk. I mean, the receivers were grasping on the ball. I mean, even Clyde Gates had a decent day. He didn't drop balls, I'll say that. Um, you know, and that, I mean, I know it's a physical Steelers defense. I know it is. Polomalu knocked Stephen Hill right in the ribs just before halftime. Stupid head and shoulders. Anyway, no. Like I said, I'm really surprised by the conservative play calling. I understand Atlanta is not Pittsburgh. I understand that. But, like, come on. Really? I hate this. I can't stand Pittsburgh, man. And what really makes it more sickening was that it felt like a Steelers home game. You listen to all those Pittsburgh Steeler fans cheering, waving those stupid, terrible towels that they like to wave. I hate it. You see them go ballistic when Emmanuel Sanders took off for that 55-yard touchdown on Cromartie. They went ballistic. Sanders himself somersaults into the end zone, and all this other jazz. It makes you sick. It's like, ugh. Stupid fair-weather Steeler fans. Yeah, that's right. They're fair-weather fans. Okay, I've always felt that way. Have many of them even been to Pennsylvania? Say the same thing about Dallas Cowboy fans. Have many of them been to Texas? But, it's not like Pittsburgh did a whole lot. It's just the secondary was brutal today. The defensive line looked good. They did their business for the most part. I don't know how many yards on the ground Pittsburgh had, but it wasn't much. But the secondary got abused. Antonio Allen, Darren Walls, Cromartie, you name it. They all got burned today. And, I'm not gonna. And there are fans out there that after every loss panic saying, fire Rex, Morningweg, sit Geno, blah, blah, blah. Seriously, we're 3-3. Okay, this team is 3-3. Unfortunately for the Jets, their next 3 games are all against division leaders. And, we want results. We don't want rebuilding crap. We want results. All 3 losses were what we could have, we could have won, we should have did this, blah, 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 blah. We could have won today. The Jets had their perfect A game. Like I said, after that Atlanta game, you feel great. Geno leading them down you feel so great. And then, and you lose a game like this to a winless Pittsburgh team who, like I said, the optimist would say this is a trap game. I never said Pittsburgh would be an automatic win. Never, regardless of record. Okay? When they have a Hall of Fame quarterback on their team who can make things happen, with a defense, with a defensive legend, running the defense, yeah. Yeah. Nothing to yeah. But it was a terrible game all around. Like I said, the D line was decent, but the rest of the team just stunk. Okay, I mean Bilal Powell wasn't so bad on the ground, but after that, nothing. So, like I said, the main culprits were the secondary, the quarterback, and the conservative, play calling on offense. I mean, that was just, and it's a shame. It's a shame how the front seven worked their tails off, keeping this team in games, and they just, whatever, whatever. You just, Anyway, with that said, I'm gonna cut it here. I'm very disappointed in this game, and I don't feel like running my mouth much more anymore. All right. We got the Patriots coming in. They're actually on TV right now playing the Saints. It's a close game. I believe the Pats are leading 20-17 right now. Whatever. Go Saints. The Pats come in next week. Maybe Geno will be able to effectively move the ball. I mean, like the Pats secondary ain't that good. Okay? Okay. We'll see what happens. You never know. You never know. All right, but the Jets have to get their act together, cut the crap, put this one behind. They're 3-3. Nothing is, a write off, but this is a tough stretch. This is a tough stretch. So if they want any sort of aspiration, Sunday's a game to win, a must win. Okay, because if they don't, like I said, it's a must win. They got to beat Cincinnati. I mean, your next three games against division leaders before they're finally the bye week, but still, I don't know what to say. It's got to step up. Can't have any more crappy performances like this today. No excuses. With that said, this is your Island Blader speaking. On peace and out.